Welcome, welcome, welcome. That was a very nice introduction. Thank you, Ami. I hope I can keep that going. So it's nice to see some familiar faces here and a lot of new ones. And I want to bring you on a little journey. What is powered by passion? I would say so. And so I want to bring you show you a little bit more what Solveig Design does. So obviously communication design and art direction. So what is communication design? Basically, communication design is anything what has something to do with communication in any way. So therefore, like illustration, you can illustrate for a calendar, a poster, coasters. There are many, many ways how you can communicate something across. Another way would be, of course, book designs. I hope you can see all of those. Very different ideas, like for art galleries. Design is when thinking and feeling meet each other. So basically, it's the result of it. And there is a lot of another way of communicating here. You see a lot of variety. And some of the logos here are from Europe, mostly here from Canada, otherwise. None is like the others. And trust me, I can tell your story to all of them, single. All of them. Another way to communicate, and probably the most fastest way, is advertising, of course. There are lots of different ideas. If it's a gala ball, a soccer game, for a conference, a medical conference, like a new product, as like a game, tons of different ways. A wine company. Different ways how you can communicate, obviously. So here, these are all companies from Vancouver, where web design was made from Solveig Design. And so when I say design is when thinking and emotion come together, you create in your creative output a different language, especially when you put passion inside of it. So now you would like to know probably what Solveig Design, who's behind that Solveig Design. So the main person behind Solveig Design is myself, Solveig. And yes, you're right, it means a path to the sun. So I have to work on my way up to that. So the main person, so we do collaborate with medical writers and others, developers. I grew up in Bavaria, so of course we were dirndls all the time. Let's stay to the cliche. No, but I do know where the best bread comes from. I lived in Italy was a snowboard instructor and knew I needed more. So I studied communication design and art direction, and for a very interesting job, what I will bring you closer later on, in Austria. So why I'm all bringing this up is that my interest was always bringing my passion and profession together. So, of course, it changes over the time, but here you can see my current passion is cycling, and that actually brought me out here for a job to BC. But before that, we moved to Canada, where for adventures, different languages, playing music. But being out here in BC, I was able to start road cycling and really got hooked into it, across the country as well by bike. And I worked for one of the biggest companies in Austria, thankfully, and Red Bull, all of you guys know, they have different sport divisions. So there was a really wonderful opportunity for me to bring my passion and profession together, even without being a pilot. But they're athletes, trust me. So I was a lead designer for those international brands, as well like Breitling and others. That was very, very, very exciting. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So, of course, communication is as well like animation. So we use those kind of animation where we all know the background to bring very conceptual, dry content across in a very fun way. And then the ones here in the middle is e-learning stuff where we actually won a platinum medal. Okay, so talking more about passion and bringing profession together, I had another wonderful opportunity where I worked for the Velodrome Club, and I was responsible for all the communication, marketing, design, and I coached as well. So I gave the whole company or organization a different look and feel. Why I'm bringing this up as well is, when you lead something with passion, it gives you it pushes a little bit your curiosity, of course, but you have to be courageous as well. What does it give you at the end? It gives you innovation if you bring those together. So here I saw an opportunity. I asked for a grant to put a conference together. It was to empower women in sports, and we got the grant. I was leading the conference. I was branding the whole logo, created the name and all that, and it was really, really wonderful. Why I'm saying this is no, I haven't done that before, and it took quite something. But because I'm passionate about something, I was able to bring it across in a meaningful way. So this is something as well, when you bring passion and profession together, if you really care, it can create like a different output. So obviously, I'm a cyclist, and I had the chance to design quite a lot of brands, some in Quebec, some here out in Vancouver. I was doing the UCI kit for the Grand Fondo, the recent one. This one was very, very special here in the middle because we won the whole team and I won the women overall. The top one is very, very special to me too because I crossed across the country with my bike and donated that for Mental Health Canada. So it was really wonderful because you can really use the form, bring your emotions into the form to bring something across. And so then I had the opportunity for Cycling BC. This is the organization who takes care of all the events, races, and whatever happens here in the province. And so they asked me to create a new kit for them. And of course I said yes, and it's I will do whatever you ask me for. And what is professional passion doesn't do it all, right? Your communication is you have to make sure you understand the needs and the wants of your client. You have to make sure you really listen well and ask the right questions, that you get what they want. And then I had the chance as well to create a medal, and they made a podcast for me that was really wonderful. So what is my process throughout that? So I start, of course, is what are we having on the ground? What is the idea? What are the names, the color palette, and all that stuff? So where can I start off? And then I'm looking into what has been done in the past, in terms of how can we distinguish our new look and feel? How can we be somewhat leaning onto what has been done, but so fresh and new that it makes sense to put a new person on it? So I looked into what does British Columbia, the province, represents? And we all know it's mountains and the water, what we have here. So how can we bring this across? And I looked into, of course, different ways. So I looked into the indigenous language, and I brought out quite a few concepts to them. And why I'm bringing out a few concepts is because I like to encourage my clients to look around the corners, to widen their perspective, and just to have the courage as well to do something different. But it's not always easy and doesn't always work, of course. But I always like to push it a little bit, because if not, I'm not being true to myself either, because I feel when you bring design and passion together, you can create purpose. Or you can create purpose. And when you create purpose and meaning into your design, it has quite a different value to your client, but of course to yourself as well. So this is then the kit idea, what came out in the end. I will put it on at the end. Okay, so just to give you an overview, what I decided to do so is instead of going from the blue, I went to the red, because I feel as a provincial champion winner, you should wear the color red. You should stand out, you're on the podium, and you should be proud of yourself. There's a tiny outline here on the side where it represents a landmark where we're at. You can see as well with the color blue and yellow that water plays a role, obviously, and they're at the same time the colors from British Columbia. So my client, Cycling BC, instead of taking one jersey or cycling kit, they took 5 in the end. And of course, it doesn't happen all the time either. And I was very happy that they saw all my proposals and they said, we want them all. And of course, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time. And this is, the medal I created as well, where I was really like taking the landmarks of the mountains we have here, because a lot of people come for that. These are the other kits I designed for Cycling BC. So the team kit, same color scheme, of course, but like laying it out differently. The BC Cup, all in white and different outline as well. And then the iRide kit. So it's for kids to get on bikes and to be strong or get strong. So the design there is very playful. So everything you see in the jersey is like where they basically learn how to ride their bike. This one was very special to me as well. So we had a collaboration with all the French school here in BC. And I created the logo, like the whole branding from all the cars. We had all the bikes inside. And then, of course, a jersey as well. And then I was coaching in French. So there was a lot of things that came together. And that was very beautiful as well. So if you think of, for example, about creativity, when there's creativity, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Do you all agree to that? Yeah. So creativity really comes to place when there's a collaboration, a connection, whatever comes extra. It doesn't need to be your passion. It just drives you differently when you have a passion towards something. And again, I'm not a pilot, but I'm a very active person. Can I give you that? So I would like to show you how the jersey looks like, what I created in the end. Because my client didn't just give that to me, they're not allowed to. You have to win it. So you have to win the provincial championship. And I did. Otherwise I wouldn't have it. You have all the sponsors, and then my medal. So it was not, of course, winning is wonderful, no question. But if you win something you designed yourself, like it gives such a different meaning and purpose to it, and you just really feel like you understood your client and you did something right. So, yeah, I think this is all my passion. So,